Everyone, my name is Sandra and I am going to perform a makeup tutorial for you today. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here and watching this. So today I'm going to be using a couple of Too Faced Peach Perfect products, and these I picked up a while back, so they're not completely new. I think they were launched last summer in August. So what I'm going to start with, I've already done my moisturizing routine. I actually added some facial oil to my skin because it's so dry this time of year. It's mid-February and it's just really, really cold here. So it's very important, even if you have oily skin or combination skin, make sure you moisturize. Then I also put a daytime lotion with SPF in it on top. So the next step, make sure you use a primer. It makes application of your foundation really even, and it gives a layer between the foundation and your skin. So today I'm using Too Faced Hangover RX Replenishing Face Primer. So I'm just going to take 2.5 pumps and rub it between your fingers and put it all over your face. There are different types of primers. So for example, if you have a lot of noticeable pores, you'll want to get a pore filling primer. And a really, really good one is a Smashbox Photo Finish primer. Okay, and then you can let it soak into your skin for a couple of minutes. And always give your skin a break between your moisturizing application and the priming application, because the one product will just slip and slide off the other. So give it a little break in between. Looking good. Next step. So I'm going to use this Real Techniques makeup sponge. You can get 2 of them online on Amazon, I think for about $8. And today we're going to go with Peach Perfect Natural Beige foundation. And it's a comfort matte foundation infused with peach and sweet fig cream. So it's very important to just shake up your product, make sure it's all mixed. And then usually I will put it on with my finger and put it on my face so it doesn't soak into the sponge, but today we're just going to put it right on the sponge. I'll do 3 pumps and dab it all over. And believe it or not, this is actually the lightest shade that I have in this type of foundation. And I wanted to do a lighter foundation today only because I'm going to be using the Peach Perfect Just Peachy eye palette, and I really want the peach colors to show up. And don't ask me why I'm doing peach. I'm wearing kind of a peachy colored shirt, and I feel like even though it's mid-February, I feel like spring is soon going to be here. Spring is almost in the air, and I have to say March is my favorite month, so I can't wait. It's my birthday month, and it's spring, and I don't even care if we get tons of snow in March because I know that spring is right around the corner. So now it's very important when you're make sure always that your sponge is damp and not soaking wet, so there's not going to be water droplets like running down my face when I squish it on my skin, but damp so that it makes the makeup blend into your skin better. And even if it kind of looks like you've blended everywhere, keep going and never swipe it like this. Always just pat it, and then you'll get the best application. And with this specific foundation, I have noticed that it goes on really, really nice with a kabuki brush as well. And I have both the flat F80 by Sigma, and I also have the rounded one. I don't know which number that is right off the top of my head, but both of them work really, really nice. And I do have this one brush that I actually picked up from Costco a long time ago, and it's a flat kabuki brush, but it's super sized, and that one makes it go on really, really quickly. So sometimes with like a matte foundation, you want it to go on quicker because then it'll dry and then it'll start to look patchy. that looks good. So now I'm going to apply concealer. I'm going to still use the same sponge, but I'm going to use the pointy side. So I'm going to stick with the Too Faced product. Too Faced Born This Way, and this shade is Vanilla. And I really, I have really, really dark under eye circles. It just, I think, runs in my family. There's nothing I can do about it. And I did get a really good sleep last night, so that's not it. But I do prefer a really bright concealer, so it will be maybe 5 shades lighter than my actual foundation. You're going to see when I put it on. It's really bright. But especially with the shadow I want to put on today, it's going to show up really nicely. And then depending on what look you want to go for, sometimes I actually put it into a V shape. And some of you may be thinking, oh my god, look how much concealer she's putting on her face. But it just depends what you want to go for. One of these times I will do a video on a natural makeup look. So I won't include any foundation. There will still be concealer, but it'll be a lighter coverage concealer. Okay, so we're going to take our beauty blender or Real Techniques beauty sponge and just blend in your concealer to the foundation. So I did put some on my chin, and sometimes I put some above my lip on my Cupid's bow, just the places where the natural light would hit your face first. And then once I actually do a contour with bronzer, then you're going to see how certain areas of your face pop and certain areas of your face can be shaded to make it look smaller or to give it that extra oomph. Okay, so then if you've blended and it's kind of coming down your cheek here, I can take the other side with my foundation and just kind of blend that out so there's no really harsh lines around your face and your eyes. And if you have spots, like I have some sunspots on my face, you kind of want to use a concealer that's closer matched to your actual foundation color as opposed to something you'd use for brightening under your eye. But I'm not too concerned about covering every single thing up today. And I would say that this foundation is more of a medium foundation, but it is pretty matte. And the powder that I'm going to use today is matte as well. So I'm only going to use a very small amount. But wherever you do put concealer, it's very important that you set that down, because otherwise it's just going to crease and move around your face and not look very nice. All right. Okay, and then what I use, I sometimes actually just use the sponge. I go into the powder and I apply it and kind of like a bake. I will show that in a future video just so you know what I'm talking about. But today I will be using a Sigma Powder Sweep F06 brush. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this Peach Perfect Mattifying powder. And it's a loose powder. And it's quite nice. It smells like peaches, but it actually tastes like candy. There's been so many reviews on this product, and it's really, really nice. I'm not sure if you want to eat your makeup, though. I'm not sure what other kind of chemicals are in there. Okay, so I put some on the brush. I tap it off a little bit so you don't have a whole bunch of powder. And see, I'm already creasing here. Just kind of go back in with your sponge if you do have creases before your powder application. And make sure you have no creases. Okay, so then I quickly apply the powder and I just kind of go around in circles. Just so all of the powder can set that concealer down. And again, anywhere where you apply concealer, and actually even your entire face, you don't always have to set where you've applied foundation, but I still will. but you can see that my dark circles have disappeared quite a bit. I think you can always see them on me. It's just something that I'll have to live with, which is fine. I mean, some girls try to cover it up completely, but I'm okay. And I know a lot of you are going to say, wow, like, I can't believe you wear this much makeup. But honestly, I don't wear this much makeup every day. I can go to the grocery store and I can go out wearing absolutely nothing but my contacts in, and I don't care. And it's not that I don't care about my appearance, I'm very comfortable either or. I kind of view makeup more as an art form because I am very artistic and I love to draw and paint, but I just love the feeling it gives me when I can do my makeup and make myself look completely different, or even, you know, the same, but your skin just looks healthier and you look like fresh face, so to speak. So now what I'm doing is taking a large powder brush. This is the F20 by Sigma, and I'm just taking what was remaining of the powder in the lid that I put in there and just kind of fluffing it all over my face just to set the rest of my foundation. And for this step, you don't really need a whole lot. Okay. And now, either or, I like to either do my eyebrows next or my contouring, but I think I'll do eyebrows today. So in this case, I like to use, this is probably one of my favorites, and I'm going to do a video on all my favorite products as well, just so you guys have an idea of the things I like to use. But this is the Anastasia Brow Whiz, and this is soft brown, kind of giving me a little bit of a softer look today because I'm not doing a heavy eye. So the first step is I like to brush my eyebrows. Mine are very, very sparse. I used to pluck them a lot when I was younger. I just kind of brush them up, and you kind of pick where your eyebrow starts and you draw a line underneath of it to the top of your arch. Kind of like that. And then repeat the same with your other eye so that they match. There you go. And then another trick, so a lot of girls like to have that really airbrush look at the start of your eyebrow. I just kind of like a heavy eyebrow, and my eyebrows have always been darker. So I'll start right at the corner here and brush up in hair-like strokes. And if you get any above, you can always kind of wipe it off and kind of fill in your brow, see how that looks compared to the other eyebrow. And then we'll repeat the same thing for the other one. I feel like this one's a little bit, it has less hair for some reason. Okay, and then next I'll actually brush the top of my eyebrow down right here. And I can fill in because I brush my eyebrow up on this part of it. So I brush them down, and then I fill in kind of like downward sideward strokes the top. And then this is how I shape my eyebrows, because I don't really have like a nice arch, so that's how I give myself a nice arch. You can already tell, and it gives me some definition, gives my eyebrow shape. And even when you brush the spoolie through your eyebrows again, it doesn't look like it's painted on or drawn on. It actually looks like an eyebrow. Okay, and then when you're filling in the tail part of your eyebrow, you just kind of, again, you do little tiny hair-like strokes. I'll extend my eyebrow just a tiny bit. And I like to pay attention to the top part of the arch where I get like good definition right there. And you can already tell how much that's changed. And your eyebrows are such an important feature of your face because they frame your eyes and they kind of give you your definition to your face. Like it gives you expression and it seems to also your eyes pop more when you have like really defined eyebrows. All right. Okay, and they're not perfect right now, but what I'll do is I'll take the other end of this Brow Whiz, the spoolie, and just brush them the way that they would go. So right here, I'll brush it up, and then I kind of brush down on the tail. And it gives it a little bit more of a natural appearance. So same thing with the other eye. Okay, and then if you notice any areas that are missing or need to touch up, just go ahead. And like I said, if you do make a mistake, just take a Q-tip and you can kind of get rid of the area that you've overdrawn in. And I guess the other trick is just go light and slow. And you could add a little bit and then brush and add a little bit and brush, and that'll help too. Okay, and now I don't have unruly eyebrows, but just because I have added some Brow Whiz to them, I will take a clear brow gel. I only have two. I've got this Anastasia clear brow gel that I use, and I also have the Maybelline clear brow gel. Either of them is good, but today I'll use this one. So you just take the little spoolie that it comes with and you kind of brush your brows, but don't go too hard because the gel will actually take off the color that you've applied. So just kind of set them down so they're not going to go anywhere, fly away on you. Perfect. Okay, dokie. And now next we will do our contouring. So I love to use the Park Ave Princess contour palette, but I'm going to switch it up today, and my contour palette actually broke. I dropped it, and all of the colors came out except for two of the contouring shades, so that made me really sad, but I'm going for a more fresh face natural look today. So I'm going to use Hoola bronzer by Benefit, and I have this tiny little palette. It's called Pretty in the USA, and it actually comes with your Hoola bronzer, the Rockateur blush, which is quite pretty. It looks like kind of shimmery and shiny, but once you take off the top layer, it becomes this nice mauvey color or mauve color. And then Dandelion Twinkle, which is a pretty neutral highlight. So we'll just take some of the Hoola bronzer, and I like to use, lately I've been using this dual fiber powder blush brush. It's F15 by Sigma, and it's dual fiber, so it doesn't go on quite heavy. Kind of dab it in the bronzer, and then you can tap it off so you don't have tons of excess product on your brush. And you can kind of suck in your cheeks a little bit, and you start from your ear, and you kind of find the hollow of your cheek and go down towards your mouth, but don't stop about here. Don't go down all the way. And then you have a nice, beautiful contour. And even without actually blending, this looks pretty nice, but I'll continue to blend. But what we'll do is do the same thing to the other side so they'll look even. And it all does depend on your face shape. But what I found is in the old days, not the old days, but when I first started doing makeup, I would kind of go in a curved motion and kind of go up. And that works too. It just kind of depends on the look you're going for. But this gives you that nice definition, makes your face appear a little bit slimmer. And you want the color to be more dramatic by your ear and then kind of blend down. And in the evenings, when I'm doing a really dramatic face, I'll actually bake or I'll put powder along the line here just to kind of give it a little bit more emphasis. But today, like I said, a little bit more natural look, so I'm not going to do that. I think that amount on the cheeks for today is perfect. I don't want to go any more than that. Okay, but now to also balance out the rest of your face, it's always nice to add product to various spots of your face, and especially with contouring. So now we've highlighted under the eye, around here, right above the cheek top, the nose, the lip, and the chin, and the forehead. So you can add some of this bronzer to your hairline, and if you have a wide forehead or a large forehead, it'll actually make it appear smaller. So you kind of blend it into the top here where your contour ends by your ear, and you add it to your temples and your hairline. And just make sure you blend it in really, really well, because right now you can kind of see like a direct line here, but the more you blend, you won't see that. Okay, we'll do that to this side as well. And you can also go back in with your powder brush after and just blend it a little bit more. Okay, so this kind of frames the face, like I said, gives it definition and gives it some warmth, because if you just have bronzer on your cheeks, the rest of your face is going to look a little cold and lonely. Okay, and then I also contour my nose. I like to add it down either side of the bridge of my nose, kind of like that. Again on the other side, and I just flatten my brush with my fingers. And then I bring it around the tip of my nose and underneath. And then you can just blend it down onto the sides of your nose. And if you're worried about more product, you can apply it to the rest of your face first without actually adding more product from the palette. So you put some underneath your chin, or sorry, underneath your lip, above your chin. Anywhere where there's natural shadow, and also along your jawline, just under your jaw. Okay, and now there's no product left on your brush, so you can go ahead and blend your nose. So it doesn't look like I have this really dark nose anymore. Nope. Okie dokie. So next, moving on, we're going to add blush. So I use a blush brush. It's a powder blush, the F10 by Sigma. And today I'm going to use this Too Faced face palette. It's got all of these beautiful colors. This is what the top looks like. And I'm actually, because I'm doing a peach look, I'm going to put Sunny Honey and Pink Sand, and I'm just going to mix the two. So I'll put the brush in both of them and just mix them a little bit. Tap off your brush and smile a little bit and put them right on the apples of your cheeks, right above your contour. There. And I really like a nice blush. A lot of people are scared of blush. They'll see, like for instance, this bright pink color here in the middle. I think if you just apply a little bit and then you blend, 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 that's the most important rule of applying makeup. I mean, it's not like you're going to take a wet brush and just go plop right on the middle of your cheek and leave it. You look like a clown. So just blend, and like I just said, if you have like a dry application, it'll go on much more sheer. But if you do wet it, then it'll look a lot more pronounced. Okay, I'll add a little bit to my nose, a little bit to the chin, and it looks good. So now at this point, you can add highlighter next, which maybe we'll do that first. But when you have powder on your face, sometimes it's nice to give your face a spray, either with rose water or whatever you have. I actually will use a makeup setting spray, and it helps kind of just mix all of the powder together and make it settle more naturally on your face. So we're going to take a highlight, and this is called, it's by the Balm, it's Mary Lou, and it's kind of this neutral bronzy shimmer color. And I'm going to take this tapered highlighter, the F35 by Sigma, and it's kind of got like a medium-sized tapered end brush, and put it in the highlighter and just put a little tiny bit on the top of my cheekbones. And you do have to be careful if you have a little bit older skin, because highlighter does show a lot of your, I don't want to say wrinkles so much, but if you have any rough patches on your face, especially if you've got a dry face, just be careful with where you put it, because if you put it where you have a lot of wrinkles, it's really going to show your wrinkles. Like, I've got really deep forehead creases, so that's part of why I add a makeup setting spray. It just kind of makes it look more natural and not so like dry or flaky, because I mean, that's never a good look. You never want to do that. Okay, so a little bit on the tip of my nose, down the bridge of your nose, on your cupid's bow. And then we'll keep this out because after we'll add a little bit to the inner corners of the eyes. Okay, now I think what we'll do is I'm going to take my Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1. It's infused with coconut water, and it's really, really nice spray, but always give it a shake first. And aim it at quite a few inches away, maybe about a ruler's length away from your face, and just give it a once over spray. Okay, and wait for it to dry. And now a lot of people think that this makeup setting spray will actually keep your makeup in place all day. You can get ones that do. I have one by, I can't remember who it's by, but I do have one, and it will make your makeup last all night. I have another one by Milani, and it's actually called Make It Last. So this stuff will prolong the length of your makeup, and especially with blush tends to fade after a couple of hours on most people. So, but this stuff is more of a, you can actually use it as a face primer as well. Just gives you that priming before you apply your foundation or rest of your makeup. Okay, so now we're done that, so we're going to start on our shadow. So I'll come a little bit closer here, and this is the palette that I'm using today. So it's the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes. This is what it looks like. A lot of neutral colors, but I think I'm going to stick with this color here, which is Peaches and Cream, Fresh Picked, Just Peachy, Peach Tea, and Peach Punch. I'm not sure if I want to use a lot of this, but I might mix the two. So before we do anything, I already have set my lids with powder so the concealer won't crease, but I'm going to take a large fluff brush by Sigma, the E50, and I'm going to go into the Peach Meringue right here, the bone colored shade, and I'm just going to put it on my lids just to set them down. And this is a good step to do for any shadow application. Put it all over, because then the rest of the shadows won't skip on your eye, and it's close to your skin color and kind of gives you that brightening effect. Okay. And then next I'm going to take a regular crease brush, and this is the Tapered Blending E40 by Sigma. And we're going to go into a lighter shade, so Peaches and Cream. Take a little bit on your brush, tap it off, and just go in the crease and just kind of sweep it back and forth. You might have to do a couple of layers, but after a while you're going to start to see a nice definition, and it's a transition color, so if you decide to add color to your lids, this kind of transitions into a more natural look, so it's not like this really dark blob of color on your lids and you don't know how to blend it out. Although sometimes I do that, it just depends what kind of look I'm going for. And especially with shimmer shadows, and if it's a night out, I really like to wet my brush first, and it really makes the color pop. But there are tricks to blending it out, so I will show you that in one video coming up soon. So you can kind of see what that looks like, and it's very light, so especially my skin tone, I've got I'm usually like a medium in winter, which is actually quite dark, and then in summer my skin gets a lot more tan, and so I'll probably be closer to a tan shade. Okay, so now I'm just going to go in with just Peachy and kind of add it in top. I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to add it on top, and just one application should do, but the more you blend, the more natural it's going to look. Okay, and then I'm actually going to mix the Fresh Picked with the Peach Punch. So this color and this color here. And we're going to add that to the lid. You can see what that looks like there. And then again, blend it into the crease. So I use the same brush, but normally I would use like another smaller crease brush. You could use the E35 by Sigma, but we can use the same one just to kind of blend it all out. And as long as you don't add more product to your brush, then it's just going to blend it. It's not going to give you tons more color. And then I might just add some more of that Fresh Picked to the crease. I'm really liking this color. Doesn't it just look like spring? I love spring. I think honestly summer is my favorite season, but I like spring because then I still have summer to look forward to, if that makes any sense. Maybe it sounds crazy. I love summer, but as soon as it's here, it just seems to fly by. Good. And I think that's really all I want to do today. I don't want to blend it out anymore. I don't really want to make it any darker or any lighter. I think the only thing that I might do is I will take another crease brush and I'm going to dampen it. So I'm just going to spray it with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. So I have the lavender kind here, but any one will work. So you spray your brush just a little bit, and I'm going to actually go into my highlighter palette here. Or not my highlighter palette, but the Mary Lou. I'm just going to dab it in there, and I'm just going to pop it on the center of my lid and see what it looks like. Almost as if the light is shining and hitting you there on purpose. So I'm going to go back and I'm just going to take my brush again that I used to put on the eyeshadow and just kind of blend it out and see what that looks like. I don't want it to be too bright, but I just want a little pop of brightening. You could use your finger for this too, because the oil from your finger will help blend it in and make it pop. Oh yeah, that's almost too much. Ooh. There we go. Good. Doesn't it look so pretty? Okay, we're going to take that same brush we used to add that highlighter and then put it on the corner, on the inner corner. Mine's already damp, so it's just going to show up that much more. Okay. And then I'm also actually going to add a little bit of that color that I added to the top part of my lid on the lower lash line, just to give it a little bit of definition. So sometimes I use a darker color, but I'm actually just going to go in with this E30 pencil brush by Sigma. It just has a little pencil tip. And I will use the fresh picked color and run it along your lower lash line. And also blend it into the shadow up at the top. And you don't really need a whole lot for this look because it's just adding some color to blend it in, and it just kind of pulls the whole look together. Okay, next step, I'm not doing any eyeliner today. I just want to look natural and fresh. So I'm going to put some mascara on, and I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Feline, I thought it said Flirt. And I've used this before. This is one of my favorite drugstore mascaras. And I am switching back and forth. Sometimes I use the L'Oreal Carbon Black, but this one's been a favorite of mine for a while. Now, if you do happen to get any of this on your skin when you're applying it, don't try to wipe it off right away because it's just going to take off the rest of your makeup with it. Wait for it to dry, and then you can just take it off using a Q-tip. And I'll put some on my lower eyelashes. And then the other eye. And you can use the tip of the one just to get into the very inner corners. And I do find if you kind of go down to the base of the wand and then slowly pull up, it'll kind of curl your eyelashes at the same time as it applies the actual mascara. So a lot of girls, and this is usually what is the number one rule for eyelashes, if you're not applying fake ones, and even if you are applying fake ones, you do the same thing, is they always say, make sure to curl your eyelashes. But honestly, with me, I've tried, and I really don't notice a difference. And maybe it's because mine are just naturally curly, I don't know. But if that's your thing, go for it. Curl those eyelashes, girl. And I think you can actually get like heated eyelash curlers, just like you can get like irons for your hair. And they're supposed to work really well. And I see some of those girls on Facebook getting eyelash lifts, and I was like, what the hell? When I first saw it, I'm like, what are they doing to that poor girl's eyeball? But I think once a long time ago I had my eyelashes tinted, and it lasted maybe 2 weeks because mine grew out so fast. I'm like, you know what? If I can get a mascara for $10, I'm just gonna buy a mascara for $10. I'm not gonna spend, you know, and how much is it to get like fake eyelashes? 200-300 bucks? I'm not ever paying that kind of money. I'd honestly rather get more makeup. Don't tell my hubby. Okay, so now we're done with eyelashes. Aren't they pretty? Okay, we're going to move on to lips. So I'm going to take this Milani Color Statement lip liner, and this is All Natural, and line my lips. There, and I like the natural one because it's not overpowering. I have the other one, it's 02 or 09 Spice, Yeah, this is 04 all natural. So the other one's 08 spice, I believe. And I really like using that one, but this one's a little bit more natural, and if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so I'm also going to use another Too Faced product, and this is Too Faced Got Peach, and I think it's another one of their peach products. The packaging is actually quite cute, and it's really heavy. That's the color on the cap, and this is the color, and it's going to go perfectly with this eye look. And I think that does it. And that is the completed look. What do you guys think? Make sure to comment down below and tell me what you think and what you liked about this video. And please subscribe to my channel. It's a new channel, and the more viewers, the more followers, I would greatly appreciate. And make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye now.